So the other day, I posted something on Threads about pivoting and about how life-changing has been for me as a serial pivoter in business and in my career. No regrets, loved every pivot, big supporter of pivoting. But I did realize that when pivots and the urge to pivot and start over in my business, especially since I left corporate and went all in on building my own business online, came after a successful launch, a viral video, my highest earning month. Every time something bigger, greater than my current experience in terms of visibility, in terms of income, in terms of fulfillment came, something flipped, switched inside of me, and I had this urge built inside of I need to pivot, I need to start over, I need to change niche, this isn't it, I need to change platform. And every time it sounded reasonable. And every time there was actually a reason. But I can see now that, especially those times, specifically those times where my pivots came after more success and more of the thing I actually wanted, eventually for me, it's freedom. It's my number one value. I kind of shut down. I either got burnout, confused. I need to just scratch this, burn it to the ground, and just start something new, make it harder for myself. And it wasn't just a need or an actual want to pivot. It was just, I was afraid of more visibility. It was just fear. And I shared something about this, and someone commented, hold on. And I also added the relief that came since I decided to lock in on two platforms only. Might be expanding later in September on Instagram. Maybe. Love-hate relationship with Instagram in the last couple of years, but locked in on only two platforms, one message, one/two core offerings in my product suite, and not resist the urge to add, tweak, overcomplicate, change it, make it better, because of course you can always make it better. Of course, but let things sit for a minute so they can build. It's like the moment a plant, I always make this metaphor of a plant. The moment this little tender seedlings start growing, you're like, okay, let's change environment. Let's change up your drinking routine, how much water you get, how much sunlight you get, where you're sitting in the house, who you're sitting next to, what is in your soil, even if it was working, especially when it is working. It's kind of mind blowing if you think about it in terms of plants and just nurturing the growth of living beings and creatures and trees and plants and fruits. And if you transfer that into what I was doing to my business, it's kind of absurd, right? So the amount of relief, see, as I talk about it, can you see how my body responds? I feel like taking a bigger breath. I needed that, but it took a while. It took some redoing the pattern again and again and again to see it, to spot it, to realize, hey, this isn't actually what I want. I would love to lock in and start building and keep building and let this thing build further than that I could dream, just get bigger than what I've experienced so far. That's actually where I want to go. So how about this time we lock in? So I shared this condensed in a thread and someone commented, I totally relate. And I can't remember the exact words, I'm paraphrasing, but it was basically one day I feel like I'm locked in, and the day after I start to feel the wobble again. And boy, do I know the wobble. I know the wobble. The wobble is you start doubting, you start comparing, you start feeling behind, like, oh, I need to do better. Oh, I need to do more. Let me tweak that landing page. I can write it better. Let me add more to the offer. I can make it richer. I can improve it. Let me. It's never ending. You're always sort of recycling your material, your energy, instead of pouring your energy into the next thing, something new, or just maybe savor how far you've come, how much you've done, the fruit of your success, of your labor. Just sit for a moment, like figuratively and physically, just sit for a moment and let this thing breathe and build. That is the thing I've struggled with. And the wobble, oh boy, it connects to the root center, you guys. This is root chakra work. The wobble, when you feel the wobble in not just business, even in relationships, even in conversations, even in showing up and talking in public, when you feel the wobble, when you feel insecure, when you feel doubting, when there's something that makes you wobble away from your rooted center, that's fear. The root center is about fear as a challenge, the challenge of our the root center energetically, it develops in our first year of life. It starts to form in the womb and it connects to our most early experiences. Fear is so primal. Yet today we experience fear on social media, fear of judgment, fear of being seen. And but even if it's more sophisticated and less real and not threatening, life threatening to our nervous system, to our body, it still registers as primordial fear, the fear of being seen, the fear of falling, the fear of failing, the fear of being seen failing, the fear of judgment, of not belonging. Because eventually, if you're judged, if you fail, if you're left behind, if you get it wrong, what happens? You're isolated. You don't belong. And belonging is one of our most primordial, primal essential needs to belong. Because when we were living in the wild, you know the story, we needed to belong to a tribe in order to survive. If we belonged to a tribe, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Our, I can find it. Our chances at surviving would be higher. If you were alone, not so high. Literally life-threatening back then. But hey, many years have passed, but we still carry that programming. We are still programmed to fear because fear, the fact that we are programmed to feel fear guarantees, ensures our survival. If we were fearless, we will die. So thank God we have that program, but it makes us we need to become detectives and spot when fear it's BS. It is mistaking your success for a threat. That more visibility, that more higher income, that life of traveling, that life abroad, that move abroad, that new relationship, that new career, that new path ahead that nobody's taken, but you feel called to take and to build for yourself as a threat. That's your job to say, hey, thank you for chiming in. Thank you for wanting to make sure I'm safe. And we're going there because that's not life or death situation. We might get it wrong, but we won't die. We will survive. So every time you take a leap, you teach your body, your nervous system, hey, We didn't die. It's okay. And you get a little bit more courageous each time. There's a little less wobble each time. Each time you resist the urge to make your product better, improve your website, change the languaging, over edit that post, over edit your videos before they go out into the wild, into the public. Every time you resist the urge to over edit yourself, to over polish yourself, to perfect everything, you teach your body, you teach your nervous system, hey, it's okay. We're safe. And also, I'm enough. This is enough. This is the best I have today, and it's enough. Giving you an example. Today is my first day of my period. Up until 10 minutes ago, half an hour ago, this is the second video I'm recording. I had zero intention of recording. I had zero energy. I felt like there's no way I'm going to be able to speak and articulate a concept on camera. And even I had no idea what to talk about. But then I was like, okay, let's gauge why I want to do it and what's my body requiring, what my body is needing right now. Can I find a compromise, something that works? So I rested for most of my day. I was like, all right, let's see if by tonight how I feel. And I was like, all right, that I don't feel as bad as I thought I would feel. Let's start setting up. I don't over edit and over prepare, actually prepare at all, because that will make it impossible for me. I would not show up. If this would feel complicated, I would resent it. So easy does it for me. And I started to feel like, hey, I kind of feel like I want to record and maybe I can actually batch a couple videos. And even if I'm not on my best day, even if I will ramble, even if I still don't know what I'm going to be talking about, even if right now I wish I brought something to drink, my tea with fennel, my warm tea is in the other room, but we're rolling. I will get it for the next video. I'm still here and I'm still telling my body, hey, I'm glad you're recovered. I'm glad you feel okay. And let's record a couple of videos and we're not going to die. And even if you don't feel at your best, it's okay. It's okay. It's enough. So the wobble, I get it. And when you feel the wobble, it's your intelligence telling you, hey, Marina, Sarah, I don't know, Katie, can think of other names, you guys. Let's sit down for a moment. How do you conquer, overcome, or how I like to say, what's the antidote to fear? What is it? It's trust. First chakra, root center medicine, and the foundation of our being and of our existence and of our survival. And the very foundation to thrive is trust. Trust in yourself, trust in your body, trust in your being, trust in life to meet you and to provide. Trust that you will be provided for. Trust in the flow of life and the whole that you are part of. Trust within and trust without. Without, it seemed like I meant trust within and trust without around you. And it's never too late to build it. It's never too late to build trust. I actually used to have a product called Sacred Roots. It was a digital course. I had a live workshop on it where we worked on root center nurturing, because eventually you can have great communication skills. You can have a clear vision for your future. You can be an empathic, caring, giving person. You can have discipline, devotion. But if there is trust lacking, everything else you're trying to build will feel harder, will take longer, will struggle to reach its full potential because trust it's what allows your roots to grow deeper so your branches, your trunk can grow taller. And take that as your life, your business, your relationships can grow taller, can thrive, can flourish, can bear more fruit, and can offer more. Because if you're watching this, you're here to make a contribution to this life that feels meaningful, that gives back, that lives the world in a better place than you found it, in small and big ways. So trust is needed. And maybe I might look back at that recording. It's not available anymore, but I might look back and see if I can bring some of those exercises into. If you guys enjoy these talks where I weave some energetic conversations as a Reiki master, I have a training, but also from yoga, and chakras is one of my favorite systems to understand us humans. It's so intelligent, it's so precise, it's so wise, it's so I always go back to that because it just helps me understand myself, others, and life with like a proven, clear, trusted lens and perspective that's much wiser than I am. So I always go back to that. And I like, even, you don't need to be hyper spiritual to understand that if you believe that everything is energy, there you go. You might benefit from understanding a bit about how energy works in our bodies in terms of energetic alignment, energetic development, in terms of chakras and energy centers and how they connect. Last thing I want to say about the root center is that when root center is deficient, meaning there's some, let's not go into over specific details. When there's an imbalance, and it could be too much energy, so there's restlessness, there's this constant urgency, there's many ways it can manifest, and you can experience it in your life. And when there's not enough energy circulating, so not enough trust, the wobble, for example. And what happens is that the root center represents the material, the tangible, how we make things. Crown here, your vision, your consciousness, your awareness is where ideas originate, whether you're channeling from beyond, whether you are integrating from your own awareness and experience and understanding and lessons from life. This is where ideas generate and they go through your energy centers. And the root center is from the crown to the root is basically the manifestation current, is how is how you follow through on an idea and you bring it into tangible, into the world, into the physical world for others, for yourself to experience, to use. So it comes to fruition. And when there is an imbalance in the root center, what happens is that that process gets tricky. It becomes harder to manifest. And because that word is so overused, what I mean by manifest is bring into reality, bring your ideas into materialization, materialize your ideas, your concepts, your business ideas, your desires, making it tangible so it becomes your reality. the life you live, your current experience. So that's how key and important and foundational our sense of trust and how good detectives we get at spotting fear that is sane, that is, okay, thank you for being there, thank you for saving me, thank you for keeping me safe, and fear that is just meant to be overcome because it's BS. It's outdated, it's not serving us, it's actually blocking and limiting and stunting our growth. Thank you so much for watching. If you don't know, my name is Marina, and I'm here to remind you that the life you desire, the life you want, the life that is calling you, and the version of you, the woman you're here to become, you know you're here to become, is just one leap of courage away. I hope you take it. And if you need support, check the link in the description below. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you, Sadat. Thank you. So, guys, there's always something weird that I say at the end. Thank you for watching because I feel so much good energy after I complete recording a video. I feel so grateful that I get to be here and share what I've learned, what I'm learning, what I'm still learning, what I'm planning, what I'm navigating. That it means the word to me that you are watching these videos and that you are here. If you're here, if you've been here for a while, let yourself be seen. Comment below. Let me know. And again, thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.